everyone, this is Tricia and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how I decorate my wrapped Christmas gifts. Alright, so what I have in front of me is an assortment of items that I use to decorate my already wrapped gifts. What I do is I box everything that needs to be boxed. I put it in a box and then I put the name of the person who the gift is going to. So then later I do an assembly line where I wrap everything. And after I've wrapped everything, I write the name of the person on a little corner so I don't forget whose wrapped gift it is. Instead of wrapping one gift and decorating it, I just wrap everything. So I have an assortment of gifts off to my side that I have to decorate. I have some that are already decorated. And then I've got some gifts that I just simply put in a gift bag. But the ones that I've wrapped up in boxes, I'm going to go ahead and decorate. So I just want to show you what I do just to make them a little bit special. Of course, every gift is special no matter how you wrap it. But if you want to go a little bit of the extra mile, this is what I do. I use some string, some yarn, and an assortment of ribbons. I also have some little decorations here. I've got little pine cones, berries, some sprigs of some artificial pine or greenery. I have these little bits of branches that I cut off from this scrap piece of a garland, so I have them already ready. I even have some little cinnamon sticks. That's completely up to you what you want to put on there. You can have little small ornaments, little tiny little toys, or just another extra little gift, a keychain or so. And I've also got here some name tags that I can put on my gifts. So to put it all together, I am going to be using my glue gun. I'm going to be using wire cutters, scissors, and then of course I also have some wire here. So let's get started on the first style that I do, and then we'll move on to the next. The first style that I'm going to do will be like this one, where it's just wrapped in a brown wrapping paper. Now keep in mind that my style is very country, very farmhouse, so you will choose obviously the wrapping papers and the items that you want to wrap your Christmas gift with. I'm going to wrap this up with some string. Of course, you could modify this and use some nice thin ribbon instead of using string. And this is the way that I wrap it. I like to take the string obviously from the end of the stein here. So let's pull some out, a nice plentiful amount. And I start up at the top here. And I like to either wrap things, whether I have a decoration in the center or kind of off to the side to a corner. As you can see, this one is centered. I'm going to do this one off to the side. Okay, so I start off with a nice length of string like so, maybe a little bit longer, and then I just wrap around 3 times. 1, 2, and then 3. And then when I get here, now I want to wrap around this way, so all I do is just twist these. So I hold this end over here like that, and now I can take this string and pull out some more because I'm going to wrap it again 3 times. Alright, I want you to also notice here that I've got 2 gifts stacked together. You can obviously do this with just one gift. It doesn't have to be stacked as I'm doing it. I think it looks really pretty when you do have more than one gift for someone, and if they happen to be the same size, even if one's a little bit thicker, or it could just be a little bit smaller, I like to stack them up together and decorate them really pretty. This is because it'll save me some, obviously it'll save me some money on my decorations, and also save me time if I stack them together. Now also, if they're traveling, you got to put them in the trunk of your car to go over to somebody else's house. You know, if you have too many gifts and have too many decorations, it'll be harder to put them in there because you don't want to crush the decorations. So it's a good idea, if you have 2 or 3 gifts for one person, to wrap them up together. It's going to be just as beautiful as receiving them individually. If they see them stacked up like this, it is so pretty. All they have to do is remove the decoration and they can just open the gifts. Alright, so this is what I've done. So far I've gone 3 times around. So now that I've met up here, I can just leave a nice length and then just trim off my string. And so that I can keep everything together, I'm going to just spread the strings just a little bit. Just spread them out a little bit, and then bring this one and tie these 2 together. Now, for me to keep them from spreading out too much over here, I also go underneath all the other strings, and then I can come back up and just one knot. You don't even have to do 2 knots, just 1 knot. That'll hold it all together. I'm going to be using my glue gun, so therefore I don't have to put too many knots. Okay, I'm also just going to separate the strings just a little bit. You don't have to do this. They can be all together if you want, but I do like for them to be noticeable as 3 strings, so that's why I'm separating it. Okay, now that we've done this, it's super easy. Now you just got to use your imagination on what you want to put on top. As you can see here, all I did was a simple bow, some little garland greenery, some little berries, and some pine cones, and of course a name tag. So I'm going to put the name tag on this one first, and I've got it already on a string, or you could put a string that matches what you're doing, or if it's just a name tag that gets taped on, then you can just, you know, put some tape on there and put it on there. This one has a little message in the front, and then it says who it's for in the back, so it has a little string. So I'm just going to tie this up in here so it gets put together with everything, so that I don't have to worry about, okay, how am I going to tie it up once I've decorated it. Now I like to use hot glue, like I said, so things will get glued onto here and it'll just get ripped right off when they're opening it, but I'm okay with that. But I'll show you in a little bit a different way that you can do that. All right, so I'm just going to I need to take some ribbon and some sprigs here, and I can do completely different from the other one. I don't have to be exact. So I'm just going to take some sprigs and a ribbon here. I'm going to do a little bow, and I'm going to choose how long I want my little tail, a loop, make another loop, and then again cut for another tail. So it's just like that, very simple. I'm not doing my usual way of doing my bows. I'm doing it very simply. I'm just holding it here for now. That's why I tucked it under there. I'm going to cut a piece of wire. Let's put this over here. And now I can gather this up right in the middle and put my wire on it. Okay. And then what I do is I take the ends and then I just kind of roll them around in the back of the bow here. And now I can maneuver the bow and the tails however I want. If this was in a wire edged ribbon, I can poof them up. It's just a little bit like a burlap fabric on this one, so it does stay nice and poofed. I'm just going to cut these at an angle. You can cut the ends however you want. Just going to cut at an angle here. And then that will get hot glued right there. There we go. And now I can put whatever greenery I want to put in there. There we go, and some berries. Here I use these little tiny little berries. I have these other bigger ones, so I'm going to use those. But you could put like a little ornament on there instead. I'm going to put 3 of them. So just cut off 3 from that little stem. You could put a little ornament in there. Let me give you an idea. I have this one that has some little bells. I got this from the Dollar Tree. I could just take off all of this and then glue those little bells in there. They would look really pretty. Or just use one. Or I could use little small ornaments that I also purchased from the Dollar Tree. You could also get, I think these actually were from Hobby Lobby, from their miniature tree decorations. So you could grab little items from there and use that. I happen to like the berries. They go with my style and they go with my tree. So I'm decorating this to go with that. I don't necessarily like think, oh, this is a man's gift, this is a lady's gift. I just decorate them pretty much because they're going to be under my tree for a while. So I pretty much decorate things to go with my decor. But you can keep that in mind and choose a paper for them. So like this one right here could go for a lady or a gentleman, you know, a girl or a boy. It wouldn't matter. It's so pretty. Look at that. So that's one style. And now let me show you, because if you're saying, well, I'd like to put some ribbon across her and not just some string. Well, let's do that. All right, so I'm using the same wrapping paper, but like I said, you'll do whatever wrapping paper you want to do. This is just to give you an idea of what I'm doing. So this little gift does have the same string on there, and it has the same idea of using some greenery and some berries. But this time, instead of making a bow, I used the ribbon to wrap around the gift. And then I've done it the same for this other smaller one. But as you can see on this one, I didn't even use any of the greenery or the ribbon. I just used the ribbon, some string, and then put the name tag on there. So both of them look really pretty. They're small little gifts, but we can do the same thing to this larger gift. So I want to put some ribbon, and I have chosen this one. You can choose, like I said, whatever ribbon. And look how pretty that is against this. So I'm just going to wrap it around. And if you feel like, well, okay, well, that's just too close to looking just like the paper, well, you could use a contrasting ribbon like this on there, because it does have some little snowflakes, and it is the color that is on this ribbon. Or I could skip all that together and just add some color and use some red ribbon, because look how pretty that looks against the kind of like paper bag brown wrapping that I have here. So there's a nice idea there of the different types of ribbon you can use. I'm going to use this one, and I'm just going to cut a piece that's enough to go all the way across. And now I'm going to put some glue. Now you don't have to put a ton of glue, just enough for it to stick down. Okay, you want to just have enough glue for the ribbon to stick down and not come off. But you also don't want to put too much that it's not easy to slide it off. So don't make it too tight. You can just slide it off and then rip it off the back. So there we go, just like that. And now I'm going to use some string, and I don't have to use the string. I could use another ribbon to go over that. As a matter of fact, I could probably use the same thin ribbon on top of that one and create a contrast like that, or an even thinner ribbon. We could use that red ribbon with this in front of it, would look really pretty. Okay, so now I'm just going to take some string, and just like I did the other one, wrap it around 3 times. And this gift, I'm going to have it standing, so I'm going to put the bow or decoration right up here. Again, I'm just going to twist these together like that, twist them over, and then bring it under everything, and then tie it up. And also, whoops, I got my ends crossed, everyone. Let's do this again. Bring it under and then tie them together. Okay, just a little knot like that. Simple. And like I said, you don't have to put anything on it. You can just put the name tag on there, and that looks really pretty. I'm going to cut this, and I've got my name tag ready. Just wrap it around and through them so that it doesn't move from the position. And there we go. But I want to make this one like this one, kind of, you know, decorative. So I'm going to take some of these. I think I forgot to put some little pine cones on that other gift. I sure did. That's okay, we can do that now. Okay, for this one I just used one of this, and I actually cut it from here, and I put the one sprig on there, and then the other 2 little pieces I put them coming out the other way. But I'll just put 2 of these sprigs on this one because it is a longer gift. Let me get this little string way up here. Okay, and I want to put this so it doesn't cover my name tag. And then I'll just cut a little piece from this one. Put it right there. And then just save the other bits for another little gift. You want to save all those little leftovers after you've maybe done some Christmas decor, so that then you can use those little bits for your gifts. And they don't all have to be the same. They can all be different. I'm going to use this one actually. So I'm going to just trim a piece. This already has some little berries on there, and it's got some little pine cones. So I'm going to use that. Put some hot glue on there, and then just stick it in there. Simple as that. All right, let's go to the next style. All right, so here is a style that looks like it has some ribbon, but it's actually wrapping paper that just happens to coordinate with the other wrapping paper on the box. Now this is if you don't have any ribbons. Let's say you don't have enough scraps of ribbon or rolled ribbon that you can use on your gifts, or maybe you just don't want to use the ribbon. Maybe it was a little too expensive and it's a little too much to put on there. So we can use the same wrapping papers in a contrasting color to create a mock ribbon look. So let's go ahead and put this one down to the side here, and I'm going to take these two gifts, and I happen to have these wrapping paper that have the same tones of color. I actually bought them from the same store, but they coordinate very well. So I've got some extra pieces here that I've cut off the roll. This one was actually left over from a scrap because it's a really long roll. Not from a scrap, but from another piece that I cut for another gift. So let's use these as our ribbon. Now for this one, because I do kind of want to bring these gifts over and kind of stack them on top of each other, I'm going to do a very simple ribbon look on this one. And now this one I'll do something a little fancier, like the gift that I just showed you. So all we're going to do, let me put this one out of the way. We're going to take our roll of wrapping paper, and I've got this scrap and it's kind of torn on the sides a little bit. So obviously this edge right here is not going to do me any good. So first I want to trim off any bad parts off of it. Okay, so I don't really want to cover the look of this, but I do want to put something across it. So I'm just going to fold this in, and you can follow the lines, the graph inside, so it'll tell you how much to fold, and you just decide. Okay, I want this to go across it like that. And I want it to be kind of wide, so I'm going to fold about the same amount on the other end. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, this can now be put on here, right down the middle. I'm going to center the decoration on the middle, on the top one, so I'm going to do this right in the middle. And here I can cut off, and this scrap would actually be good to do another little gift. So I'm going to bring them together. Now you could just tape this down if you want, or use your hot glue gun. And I have some tape here, but I'm going to have to use my scissors because the little metal part on it broke off. And this is tape that I purchased from the post office, so I don't know. Okay, so let's bring this other end and tape it down as well. And if you had a badly cut edge, of course you could just fold this, make it nice. But this has a nice edge from the roll from where it came from. So we're just gonna tape that down. And I'm using tape that's not shiny because this paper that I have is matte, a matte finish. So I want to make sure that my tape is also a matte finish. Okay, that's just how I'm going to put this one. Now I'm going to do the same to this one, but in the contrasting wrapping paper, and I'm going to make a thinner ribbon, as you would, going this way, and then another one going this way. So I'll be back when that is done so we can save some time. Alright, so I've gone ahead and I put a strip of wrapping paper across this one down the middle, just like this one has. And I could have done the same thing and crisscrossed it over going this way. So you just want to fold some more wrapping paper about the same size so that you can do it around the other side. Now, if this didn't match all the way, all I have to do is just take another scrap of piece of paper and then finish it off by making the rest of that and taping it together. But I decided that I want to make it like I did this one, where it's got the look of a ribbon, a little tail hanging off. So I'm going to take this, the same piece that I've cut, and I'm deciding on the length that I want it, which is about that long. Cutting it just a little bit less, so it'll go underneath here. And then I'm going to take the ends here and just cut in a little triangle out, like so. So I have that little tail. As a matter of fact, I'm going to trim this one up just a little bit more, and this one just a little bit on the inside, just so that it doesn't peek out through the front. Okay, and then now I can do is tape that down so it's not so puffy, because it's going to be loose. Okay, there we go. And then that'll get tucked underneath. It'll get taped under there. So let's get some more tape. I could have switched over my tapes, but I'm going ahead and use this one. I'm going to push it down a little bit, reach under there and tape it down. I cut a little bit there, but that's okay because I'm going to cover that. Not cut, but I tore it a little bit. There we go, just like that. Probably the easiest thing would be to do is just double fold your tape and then put it to itself, make a little loop, put it back there, and then just tape it down, just like that, okay? So there we go, that looks pretty. We're gonna put these together, but I wanna wrap them up so they are a stack. So I've got here some string. It's like baker's string, or you could use a yarn or a little thin ribbon, but just a little string like this, and they could stack them together. Otherwise, you could just decorate this just like this one is done, which I'm going to do, but after I've wrapped them together, because I want to give them, this is for one person, and again, I like to do little stacks. So I'm going to wrap it around twice, and of course, these two are different sizes, so I can't like pretty much tape them too well here. I could, but I'm just gonna put the string going across this way as well. There we go, nice and pretty. And now I can decorate, but I do have a little tag that I want to put on there. Now this tag is already tied up, so I'm just gonna do it the quick way and unknot it by cutting it off. And then I'm just going to put it on there. I've already put the name of the person on the tag, by the way, in case you're wondering. I do already have here, this is for my dad, this is my father-in-law. There's actually 3 items in there, so it's not like my dad's getting more than my father-in-law. Okay, so there we go. And now I'm going to decorate it. And I don't have to do it exactly like that one. I'm going to use some different ones. I'm going to use that. And this time I'm going to glue it right about here, which is kind of right over this. But my little greenery is going to cover the little knots that are over here. So I'm going to put some glue there. And you can put some more glue over here just to keep it down. I'm going to need more glue on my glue gun. Let's add another sprig. Just cut off the little chunky bits. I'm going to put this one going down. Alright, and then I can use a pine cone in there. And then some little berries. Let me do a couple for now and see how that looks. Just like that. I think a couple is nice. Looks really pretty just like that. And there we go. Okay, so this next one is the same idea where I wrap some ribbon and then I've made a little bow with the same ribbon. So I'm not really going to repeat that process, but I do want to show you in case you don't know how to do this. I'm going to stack these 2 presents and put the ribbon on them, but I'm going to put it not only one way, but I'm going to do it the other way as well. And I'm going to center it. So I'm going to get my ribbon, and this ribbon has a pretty side and then the what we'll call the wrong side. So I'm going to put the wrong side facing up, and this is the top of my gifts. Put them together and just center it, and then just bring up my ribbon so I can see how long I have to, where I can trim it, and I want it right in the middle. So right there, I'm going to trim it right there. Okay, so first I am going to glue these down, just making sure that these are as centered as I can get them. Now, this is something that I like to do because when I give this, it's like one gift because, you know, they're stuck together, but it's really 2 presents in there. But this is going to travel over to my mom's house, so it's going to be in the trunk of my car. So I don't want one of them to have a crushed bow like I explained earlier. So that's why I'm putting them together, and I'm going to put just one bow on these. This isn't too tight, so I'm going to tighten it up some more. I don't want them to move. And then just put some more glue because that one got already dry. Okay, so now I want to put some glue going the other way. Now there is something that I have done in the past besides taping them together. I have put little drops of glue on the little corners in the back just so they don't move. You don't have to do this, but I've done it because I don't want them to move. And again, when they take the presents apart, once they remove the bow and they see how beautiful it is, and now they're just going to rip open the packaging, it's okay that little corner tears off. It'll help them out in opening the present, actually. So that's what I'm going to do. Now I want ribbon going the other way. So again, this time it's going this way. I'm going to put the wrong side facing it down. I mean up, this way. Center my gift right on it. I can bring this up and center it. There we go. And then I'm just going to glue that down. Right there. And then I can cut just a little bit more than I think I need. There we go. I don't want to pull on it too tight because I don't want to make the other ribbons get pulled on as well. Okay, this is not straight, so let's straighten it up right there. There we go. And then I can just put a little bit of glue there. There was some already on there, but there we go. Okay, so now I can just trim this off. All right, and now I can just make my bow just like I did the other one. I'm going to do a little bit different here. The way that I kind of fold it is that I'm going to bring it across like that. There's a tail, and then across like that. Yeah, a little bit longer on my tail, just a little bit, because I can always trim it. And then I want my center to be right here. This is going to be loop. This is another loop. Now, if this was a wire edged ribbon, I could make my loops a little bit bigger because the wire will keep them together. But this one doesn't have that, so it's not that stable. So I'm not going to do that. So I'm just going to bring these bits together. Piece of wire. And gather it. There we go. Coil that underneath. And then that's ready to be placed on my gift. But I would like to do the little dovetails on this. So a little triangle you're going to cut out from the end. You could fold it in half and then cut it, but I'm just going to do it this way. There we go. So here's my gift, and I do know because of the decor on this little ornament on the picture here of the paper, this is the top side and this is the bottom if I was to look at it, because it's a little ornament with a little bow right here and it's hanging. So I know this is the top, so I'm going to direct it so that the bow is, you know, facing the same way. Put some glue, put my bow down. Now when you're working with this, like you got this velvety ribbon, don't pull on the glue strings until they're dry, because that will get stuck on the ribbon, on the fabric of the ribbon. There we go. Make it poofy. And there we go. Look how pretty that looks, just like that. I don't even have to add anything else to it, but I am going to. I need a name tag for it. I hadn't chosen one for it yet. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I'm going to come back. I will have glued on little things like this, and then I'm going to start on yet another idea, and this one's going to be for kids. And then I'm going to show you how you can do this so that the whole thing can be, the whole bow or whatever decorations are on there, rather than being each individually glued on. You can do it separately, where it can just be ripped off together rather than little bits. I'll explain that when I get to that point. All right, everyone, before I show you the last idea, which is how to put together maybe a little gift for a child, I wanted to show you what you can do so that if you want to prepare all these little decorations before you actually put them on the gifts, if you want to do like I said, I box everything, I label it, then I wrap it, label it again, and then I come back and I decorate them. So instead of doing one gift at a time where you're putting a little bow on all these little decorations, you can actually create these aside, make a whole bunch of them, make them all different, and then go on and then just put them all over, you know, your gifts, so that maybe that's a little bit of a time saver for you. So I'm going to put these gifts off to the side because also when they take these apart, they probably will pull these off. They might come apart, and if you want to have them all in one piece where it just all comes off and then maybe it could be reused, then this is going to be a good idea for you. So what I did is I made the bow separately with some little bit of decoration on it. So I'm going to show you that, and then without a bow. So what I do is I take a piece of this a little bit of a more substantial feeling ribbon, which is the velvet ribbon, or you could use a piece of cardboard or a little piece of felt, stiffy foam, poster board, whatever you want. Even recycle these bits from the ribbon itself. If you know, these tend to come off very easily on some rolls. Just recycle these, cut a little square, a little circle off of them. Okay, so now I've got my ribbon that I want to use. So just create your little bow. Let me get some wire. And instead of gluing everything onto the gift, what we're going to do is we're going to glue everything to these little squares that we've created. Let me cut another one because I'm going to show you how easy it is to put together something without a bow also. Okay, so I've got my piece of wire, I've got my ribbon, and I'm just going to make a bow like this one, maybe with just a couple of loops rather than making it so fancy. Just cut a piece off. And then just tie it up with a wire. And then I like to loop the wire behind. Okay, now open up your bow. Trim your ends however you want. I'm going to do little ducktails here. This is the, okay, there we go. Our glue gun. Put some glue on the back of the bow, a little bit on the ribbon part. And I like to do it like where there's a little peak like that and one over here. And then just poof up your bow. Okay, so now we can take little pine bits. Let me use these. And decorate your little bow however you want. My goodness, I've got some glue stuck to my finger and it was attaching to that piece of pine. Okay, I'm going to put this little sprig here. A little ball fell off, so I'm going to glue that on. Right there. Okay, then I'm going to use a pine cone. I'm going to use this white one here. You can put anything, a little ornament would be cute there. A little snowflake even, little plastic snowflakes that you normally hang on your tree. We'll hang them off a gift. Okay, I'm going to cut some little bits off of this one. I just want a little sprig, and well, it went to the floor. Okay, and then we're just going to glue that one on this side. Look at that. So anywhere that I can see the velvet ribbon, I can just trim off on the top there and on the bottom here. I don't see it over here. Now you don't want to cut it this small. you know, and then glue everything down thinking, oh, I'm just going to make it smaller, because what's the point of making it that other size if you're going to trim it? It's better to make it a little bit bigger and then trim it afterwards, because, you know, you might want to glue a little bit extra things. Maybe you want to glue something underneath here. But anyway, there's the bow already done, and all we have to do is put it on our gift. So I've already got my name tag on there, which could have gone glued to this, and then just glue that piece of velvet down. I'm going to do the same with this other one. There we go. Let me slide this one over so I can fix this. There we go. Okay. And there you can see. I just let that dry. So I'm going to put those aside because I'm just going to show you that it's just as easy to do that. And you don't have to make a bow. You can build your little decoration on here rather than on your gift. And let's take some pine. Here we go. I like this one here. I'm going to use that. And I'll just use some berries just to make this really quick. Okay, so I can go ahead and I'm going to trim off that little hard bit off of that. And create my little decoration there. Okay, simple as that. And then just add some berries. And let me use my wire cutters for this one. These berries are all stuck to each other, so I'm going to use this whole bit and this one here. Put those right there. And I'm going to put a pine cone in there as well, because I want to hide that little spot there on this one berry that got, kind of like a little spot that got peeled off. And I've got this one that's got a little peeled part, so I'm going to put the glue there and put that one down kind of under it. So there I've created a little, because you want all this to dry really well before you pick it up, a little decoration. Any ribbon that's showing, you can trim that off. But you want to do that again after you've built all this, okay? And make a bunch of these, let them dry, and then you can just stick them onto your gifts. And if you don't want to use any hot glue, you could certainly put a piece of tape there, or maybe some sticky, little sticky clay or little stickums, whatever you want to use. Stick it on your gift. Heck, you can make a little corsage. Wouldn't this be pretty if you put a little barrette on there? Put it on your hair, make a bun. Okay, too many ideas, you guys. I want to do one more. I want to show you what I do for a little gift for a child. This is going to be used on another gift, so I shall be back. A little break here. All right, so now I'm going to show you how to make this cute little pom-pom with just some little jingle bells hanging off for our decor. And I'm not even going to be using the hot glue gun for this. I've already wrapped my gift just like I did the other ones with a twine. I wrapped them with a yarn, and I've gone over, I think I went 3, maybe 4 times, one way and then the other way, and tied it all up together. I've already put a gift label on it. I know who these are for anyway. My little grandson is getting the same wrapping paper, and he's the only one getting that. But all his gifts are wrapped in that. So I'm just going to take some more yarn, and I'm going to pull lots of it out because I want to create that little pom-pom, and it's really, really super easy to do. You can make it as bushy as you want, or just like mine. It's not too much, but it's really cute. And this is going to be a little gift for a baby, and so the baby's really not going to know, you know, the decor, but you know, mom and dad will, so you want to make it special. Now, when I was doing my kids' gifts when they were growing up, I used to do at least one gift for each of them and decorate it really nice and put that under the tree, because they were going to see everybody else's gifts, and they were going to be all wrapped up, and I wanted them to at least see one gift for each of them so that they would know that they are getting something for Christmas. And then the rest of their gifts, I would save them for Christmas Eve. Well, once they went to bed, I'd put them out. They come out in the morning, so they were just wrapped up with regular wrapping paper, maybe a simple bow, you know, the already pre-made bows that you buy anywhere. but a lot of times I didn't because they were just going to tear right into them. But I did do one special one. Now these are for my grandson. I don't have to do them all this way. I am going to do several of them, and then the rest of them, because we have a ton of them, I'm just going to just wrap them up with paper and put a little label on them. But like I said, the mom and dad are going to see it, so I don't want them to see something pretty. And I did stack, as you can see here. I've got 3 stacked together, and then I've got 2 here because the boxes are the same, and it just makes it look like a really big present, but it's 3 items in there. Okay, enough of that. Okay, so now I'm just going to do is going to take my yarn, and I can use 4 fingers or 3 fingers. I'm going to use just 4 fingers, and then just start wrapping it around your fingers like that as many times as you want. I tend to start opening my fingers. Try not to do that. Try to keep them closed so that you can get a uniform length on everything, and don't wrap it up too tight because then it's going to be hard to pull it off of your fingers. So just wrap it up as many times as you want to make the pom-pom as fluffy, poofy as you want. Okay, let's pull out some more. I think that's enough. I think that's kind of what I did for the other one. So I can cut it off, and now I'm going to cut a nice long string, and I'm going to just kind of slide them off a little bit. Bring this string so that it wraps around the whole thing, and now you can slide it off. So it's centered right there, okay? You can keep it on your fingers if you can tie it up, but just tie it right at the center and tie it nice and tight, and then do one more. And I think I've shown you how to make these pom-poms before. I think I did. Okay, so now we're just gonna put, oh yeah, because I did the pillows, and I did the covers for the pillows, and I did the little pom-poms, and I used the same yarn. So now I'm just going through and cutting and open all the loops. Yeah, there we go. And make sure you hold on to these longer strings because you don't want to cut those, okay? All right, so cut them. And then we're going to give it a little bit of a haircut. I think I got all of them. Oh, there's some here. One right there. There. Okay. And that's why you want it tight, because sometimes the strings get pulled out. Okay, now we're going to get the, again, the longer strings. I'm not even sure which ones they are, so I'm just going to hold these 3. There's 3 of them here. I'm going to hold on to all of them, and then I'm just going to bring them down like that. And then I'm going to see, well, where about the size I'm going to trim the other ones. So you're going to give it a little bit of a haircut, do a little trimming, cut the longer bits. And then open it up, bring your long strings this way, and then now grab them this other way and do the same thing. Anywhere there's some bits that are too long, trim them to the size of the other ones. More or less, they don't have to be perfect. You just want it to look pretty and fun. A little pom-pom is just a little decoration. Okay, so there we go. Now you can shag it up, and there you go. You have a little pom-pom. And just make as many turns as you want on your hand. You could use a little piece of cardboard as well for this. So now I'm going to get another string, and on the ends, well, I could just do it on that one, but I already did this, so I'm going to cut them off, and I'm going to put little bells. I meant to say yarn. I didn't mean to say string, but anyway, it's a string of yarn. And I'm going to knot this. Now, I want to tie them on really good because I don't want my grandbaby, you know, because we put it in front of him, and if he just happens to grab it, I don't want that little jingle bell to come off, and then he'll put it in his mouth. So you just keep those kind of things in mind. And he's big enough now that he will grab things. Right? If they're tiny little bits, they probably won't. You know, they're newborns. You know, mom might hold it next to them and take a picture. I don't know, maybe you want to take a picture with them with their little gifts. Oh, well, I think I pulled on the yarn a bit and kind of came a little bit unraveled, so that's okay. We're gonna tie it around and trim that off anyway. Okay. Little bits all over the place. And now we have that, and we can bring this around our strings. Look at that. You can tie it up just once. You don't have to do it in a knot. There we go. And then take the strings from this, and because I don't know which one is, okay, I'll just bring, oh, there we go. That's not it. And now we can take this one, bring it as close as we can, and then just tie it. And there it is, you guys. I'm going to bring it over to the other side, just making sure this yarns are out of the way, these ends. Make another knot on this side, and I'm going to double knot it this time. And you can just let those hang off. And isn't that just the cutest thing ever? Look at that. All right, everyone, I show you a few ways that you can do this. Use your imagination, and I hope that you got inspired. And just do things a little differently in your own style. Make it your own. And that is it. All right, everyone, I hope that you enjoyed my kind of a last-minute Christmas tutorial on how to decorate wrapped gifts and making them a little bit special. You can just use scraps of ribbon, some scraps of more wrapping paper, like I showed you how to create that, this particular style right here, and just wrapping up with just strings and some yarn. And look how cute the little pom-pom loops and little jingle bells. It's a simple little thing that you can add on, but it just completely makes that gift really special. It's like a little snowball that goes with a snowman kind of theme on there, but it can go with anything really. So I do hope that you enjoyed it. I'm going to give myself a big old thumbs up. I'm really proud of myself for doing all this wrapping and all this decorating. I still have a few more little gifts to put together, and I have some that are going to go in little gift bags. So I need to get that done, you guys. It is Thursday, and we just have a few more days for Christmas Eve. All right, everyone. Leave a nice comment down below and let me know what you think. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already done so, and thank you to everyone who has been subscribing. Also, don't forget to hit that notification bell because I have videos every Tuesday and every Thursday. I will say this coming Christmas, this coming week for Christmas, I won't have a video. So I'm just going to take the time right now to say Merry Christmas, everyone. And I hope I do get to see you before the new year, if not Happy New Year. But I hope that all of you get to spend some good times with your family or friends. Or if you're all by yourself, treat yourself. Just treat yourself and watch a nice movie, cuddle up. Or, you know, if you're working, well, you know what? It's okay. You're going to get that check with a little bit extra money. All right, everyone, one more time. Merry Christmas, everyone. I love you all. You're my friends. And share on your social medias. And as always, enjoy.